famously put an editor's note on all Donald Trump stories while he was campaigning, warning that he's a serial liar, a rapist, etc. Other media outlets also took a stance against Trump, but to no avail. What does that mean for the liberal press?
I think all of the press have an important role in society, which is to provide value and information so that people can make more informed choices, can build stronger communities, and actually make good decisions for both their connection to political life and their connection to social life. I think at the Huffington Post we've always been very clear in our opinion of Donald Trump and who he is and what his values are, and we've tried to cover that as directly as possible and calling a spade a spade. We will continue to do that going future. Our perspective is that media in general has normalized extraordinary behavior. And I think one important lesson that we're seeing from the United States election, but we're seeing this indeed around the world, is how do we sensitize ourselves as journalists, but also our audiences to outlandish and extraordinary behavior, and to really make sure that people understand specifically the context around what's happening in their lives.
Could it even mean that Trump's support was fueled in part by a backlash against the liberal press?
I think potentially, but I think that also may be an overly simplistic way of thinking about it. Indeed, if you look at the United States, it's a big country with many different people, many different schools of thought, and I think there's huge aspects of the country that do not feel served by some aspects of the press. And I think one role that journalists ought to play is ensuring that they are providing, and we are providing, a voice and an outlet for everyone in the community. One thing that's been part of the Huffington Post is really two things, like us as journalists and us as content creators on the one hand, but also us as a platform, where we were the original blogging platform and encourage everyone from our community to come on, say, like, if you have a perspective, if you have a voice, if you have an opinion, please come onto our platform and share your story, tell your tale, and we will amplify that, we will distribute that, we would broadcast it back to our audiences. And I think what we're seeing right now is the role in sort of providing the voice of communities is clearly a role that journalists ought to play, but it's also a role that communities could play for themselves. And one thing that we want to do at the Huffington Post is be that platform for people to have their voices heard, regardless of where you are on the political spectrum, and it's something we'll continue to provide.
Will the model be the same online blogs by authors who want a platform, but you're not necessarily paying them?
I think the formula for us has always been, we believe in two things. We believe in high quality journalism, and we employ journalists, we pay journalists, and we believe in that. We also want to create a platform for those people who are saying, I'm not a journalist per se, I'm just a member of the community, and I have an opinion about the world and I want to express it. And we want to create a platform for those people to be heard. And in South Africa, as an example, where I'm very excited to be launching in South Africa, in a very, very rich, diverse country where people speak in many different native languages, tell their stories in their languages. It's less around a business model, it's more a platform for expression. And indeed, if you think about the wave of social media, whether it's Facebook or Snapchat or YouTube or Instagram or many of the other social platforms, indeed these are platforms for expression. And for where we are at Huffington Post is a different kind of expression, which is more long-form thought provoking content, and that's been in our DNA. It's our bread and butter, and we'll continue to provide that.
Why has it taken so long to launch in South Africa, and why now?
I'm really excited to be launching. I think one thing that we're really excited about is, South Africa has a great population, and And we're seeing this massive shift towards mobile consumption, and it's already about 60 or 65% of the population is on a mobile device. And I think the power of mobile devices can't be understated. And I think our platform and our voice in the hands of people who can access the content through mobile is something really, really powerful.
What do you think Huffington can contribute to journalism in South Africa?
Well, I think the biggest thing, as I said, for us, we've always been a marriage of high-quality journalism, which South Africa has, and there are great journalists such as yourselves and some of your colleagues. So that is here, and I think will provide a very unique voice and unique perspective amidst a changing media landscape. But the second is the part that I've been talking about, is us as a platform to allow anybody who's access to a mobile device or computer or otherwise to be able to express themselves, and for us to sort of shine a light and broadcast that to empower people and to help people lead more, make more informed choices and to build stronger communities. I think that's in our DNA, and we provide the technology and the products and the platforms to allow people to do that in a very easy, simple manner.
What's your standard time on a marathon?
I would love to say 3 hours 10 years ago. Now my guess is a little more than that.
Okay, great. Good luck.
Great. Thank you so much.
CEO of the Huffington Post Media Group there, Grusd, with our Hasina Kathrada.